Good afternoon. It's Sunday, November 6th. Today's reading will be Acts chapter 7 through 9. Alright, so we get to Acts chapter 7. We have Stephen, the high priest, is asking if what the end of chapter 6 is so. And so what Stephen does is go through the history of Israel, bringing them right up to speed, and then turning it right the last 3 or 4 lines right back on them. Hey, you're just like your fathers. You've done the same thing. And they turn around, decide to stone him for it instead of repenting and doing right. Again, just hatred causes blindness. I mentioned this earlier. Verse 55 says that Jesus standing on the right hand of the Father, as in before. Every other time we see him, he's sitting at the throne, but here he's standing. And just one of the last little points that Plan A was in effect, and Jesus was going to return at some point. Maybe if they had repented at the preaching of Stephen, that may have happened. Chapter 8, Saul was there, and don't discount Stephen's sermon as part of the reason that Paul was convicted. Simon gets converted, is rebuked by Peter, but then verse 24. I think Simon's to be respected here. Pray ye to the Lord for me, that none of these things which ye have spoken come upon me. Not very many people react that way when rebuked. Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch. Now you want to make sure that verse 37 is in your Bible, because in all textual variants that come from the Alexandrian line do not have verse 37. Kind of an important verse. And Philip is just taken away. Chapter 9, the conversion of Saul. Verse 5, Jesus says it's hard for you to kick against the pricks, and what that's talking about is talking about cattle prods. And at this point, Paul, is under a lot of conviction, and Jesus appears to him. So Saul is saved, turns his name to Paul, goes and starts preaching that Jesus is the Son of God. Immediately, the Jews try to kill him. And now we find Peter going through all quarters, just as Saul did in the last chapter, but he's healing. But now we're going to start to see a transition from Peter, John, Saul gets saved, becomes Paul, and now we're going to start seeing a transition even with Peter to the Gentile church, starting with the Macedonian call. All right. Have a great day. Sorry about the delay. We'll catch you tomorrow.